Love is love, families. I ain't been on this thing in a while. I've been wanting to come on here and talk about a couple of things for a while. And it's been hard, but I got a couple of things I want to talk about. I don't know if I'm waiting for somebody to come in here like y'all want to come talk to me or not, but I'm going to talk about three things. First, I'm still remembering dogs and all that. Long live DMX. And so since I got my Trump hat on, I'm going to tell y'all the story about when dogs found out that I was a Trump supporter official. So one day I was at his house, you know what I'm saying? I had my Trump hat. He was coming in from a show from somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And I had the hat on the radiator, you know what I'm saying? So when he walked in, he was like, "What's going on, Jetta B?" He's like, "That's your hat?" I was like, "Yeah, it took me a long time to put it on." He started cracking up, you know what I'm saying? Dogs never really would say who he supported, but he would listen to my political opinions. And I told him that Trump won, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Trump won?" I was like, "Yes." We can't walk around having people confused about who won. And I put my hat back on, and dogs didn't have no problem with me wearing my Trump hat. You know what I'm saying? So love is love to that. Drinking me a little tea. Then I want to talk about Tashera, Mrs. Simmons. You know what I'm saying? I know ex-wife right now, but I want to talk about Tashera because we all go way, 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 way back. And I just want to give you like a brief history of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Yonkers. You know what I'm saying? Me and Tashera did not hang out every day or whatever. I lived on Locust. I hung out on Locust. You know, I was out there, whatever. I know that was Dog's girl, then I know that was Dog's wife, okay? And I'm going to tell you how beautiful Tashera is. I'm going to just tell you like how pure of a heart and pure of a spirit Tashera is, okay? I always did music. I always wrote songs for as long as I could remember. Like DJ Superior can pull up some footage of me running around in Yonkers somewhere, like 12 years old somewhere, spitting some bars, okay? It's just something I love to do. It's something that's in me. It's something I do. It's just me, okay? I write songs and I spit bars, okay? For as long as I can remember. And now I want to get back to how beautiful Tashera is. Because as I was doing songs and running around and going to the studios in Yonkers and this and that, I would put together like mixtapes. So I put together, you know, some songs or whatever I was doing. And I would see Tashera more than I would see dogs. Because she'd be around the neighborhood a little bit more. Or for some reason, the way nature or the way fate would have it, I would always run into Tashera more than I would run into dogs. I was working at the time, medical assistant, the hospital, whatever. And so I would only get time like to go to the studio after work and this and that. And I put together my little CD, what I want to do. I ain't even going to call it a little CD because it was always John Blaze. You already know Jetta be coming with them bars. But anyway, when I would see Tashera, I would hand her my CD like, "Yo, think you can get dogs to listen to this? Tell them what I'm doing and this and that and this and that." And she would take the CD home. And like later on, she told me, "Yo, I used to play it too." This is how beautiful a woman she is, okay? Not only that, even back in that time, like when Tashera was doing showcases in the city and stuff like that, like Tashera offered me a stage and everything when she was doing her showcases, and she gave me an opportunity to perform and to figure out, you know what I'm saying, whatever else I needed and whatever else, what I was missing or what I had to do or whatever, or just give me an opportunity to put a little something out there, okay? It's like she believed in me to that extent. I will always love Tashera, okay? I will always respect Tashera, okay? I will always, no matter what, the Simmons family, Xavier, Tacone, everybody, Sean, everybody, I love them so much, okay? Just off GP, like, you know what I'm saying, of how beautiful Tashera is. She didn't charge me to perform at her showcase, and it was like real, like, city, like, I forgot what street it was in the 50s or something. Like, it was real, like, official, okay? She didn't charge me. She didn't say I owed her anything. She didn't do none of that. She just seen I was out there trying to do something, and she supported it, and she took it home to her husband, DMX, and he know me too from the hood. So, you know what I'm saying? We all grew up Ravine or whatever. But it ain't like dogs ain't the easiest one to get to sit down and listen to what song you making, because you know dogs, and he just, you know what I'm saying, he want to hear you when everybody in the world told him to hear you or something, or he'll listen sometimes, this and that. But for her to take the CD home and show it to him and actually play it for him, to let him understand that I, you know, the talent and how my talent was like growing, I really appreciate Tashera for that. And it's something I will never forget. is something I will always appreciate about how beautiful she is and how selfless she is. Like, you know what I'm saying? She didn't ask for nothing in return. Like, she just did that. And then when I was able to go run around with dogs on the road and certain things and to be at the house and see what I could pick up or learn on and I grinded. Like, dogs went through hell to like get to the notch where he got to. So I had no problem with doing all kinds of stuff when I was at that. I would cook. When he came home and I told him about the Trump hat, I made some pepper steak and rice. As soon as he got from the plane, I had it over there sizzling and all of that. Like, I'm a girl. I don't have no problem cooking. I love the dogs. I have no problem taking care of the dogs, doing what we got to do, okay? And with her blessing on top of not only the streets blessing, not only just the circle, we all for the same hood, but like with her blessing, it just made things a little more kosher for me to just be able to spend nights and travel and do all of that. And I just want to put that out there with Tashera. I love Tashera Simmons. I love you. I love the fam forever for life, okay? Dogs for life. And then we can get back to the Make America Great, okay? Because that's what I want to talk about, too. I want to talk about dogs. I told him about that. I'm Trump supporter, okay? I told him about that, okay? I had my hat on the radiator when he came home. And he said, Jetta B, that's your hat? I said, yeah. Took me a long time to put it on. We laughed. So now let me tell y'all why I put the hat on. Because it did take me a long time to put it on. And there's a lot of stuff going on, like with the country, with the Constitution, with the confusion, with the misinformation, just with a lot of stuff. It's just a lot of stuff going on, and we need to really like break this down. And I'm really like preparing myself. Let me see, who's this one here? I can't even tell. I'm really like trying to prepare myself to do chess on this government thing that's going on, okay? We're going to count these seats and all that. We're going to count 500 something seats, and we're going to zero in on each seat, and we're going to zero in on each district, and we're going to zero in on what each person is standing for that want to sit in one of those seats, and where did they come from, and what's their history, and all that, okay? Because I'm going to tell y'all how they playing games with us out here in these streets. I'm drinking some tea. Okay, I gotta break down the Jetta mind trick for y'all, okay? Because the math is very important. And I'm not like a math genius either. But I know enough basic math when stuff ain't adding up. I could really like see that shit just ain't adding up, okay? Now, I don't even know where to start when it comes to why I put this hat on. Because it's so out of control. I need y'all to understand, it ain't about who the president is. Because, like, since when do we care who the president is? Since when do we really give a damn, okay? We don't even pay the government no mind. Most of the time, black people or aboriginals or I don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't be paying the government no mind. We don't be trying to participate. We don't even be caring if we vote or not. We don't pay them no mind. We not trying to snitch. We ain't trying to be the police. We ain't trying to run around looking at what people do. We ain't trying to do none of that, okay? But when we started having to pay some attention was when when we had to start paying some attention, when we realized that our constitutional rights and all of that, like, once you breach that constitution, it can make everybody, like, stand up and be like, what the fuck is that going on? Like, what's going on around? This ain't our country, okay? You have to have a certain standards, okay? So that's why I put this hat on, because I like the standards of the hat, okay? And in America, United States standards, our standards are not dirty, tent, parking lot, pimping, vaccine sites in the middle of the elements while it's raining, screaming pandemic, and it's, what's going on, Bambi, you all right? Screaming pandemic while they sending you out in the elements, in the rain, with the wind blowing, with the dirty, dusty-ass, contaminated tent at the dirty, dusty-ass stadium site, screaming new variant, while they just told you that's too dangerous to hug your mama. So if it's too dangerous to hug your mama, how is it not dangerous to go to the dirty tent? Okay? That's one on the math, on doing the math, okay? That's one. Then, on top of that, not only that, okay? Then they got emergency use authorization, okay? Emergency use authorization, okay? They tell you that something came from China and Europe or wherever it came from. It did not come from America. They didn't say that. It might have, who knows, but they didn't say that, okay? It came from overseas, and then they said emergency use authorization So why is it that the small population of blacks and indigenous have to be targeted first for contact trace and tests and all this shit when half of us, more than half of us, don't even own a passport? Ain't left more than 15-mile radius from where you live at in years. Okay? But you end up with needing emergency use. Ain't no other community need the emergency use as much as you did. Okay? And not only the blacks, I'm just going to say poor people, workers. Okay? They did the workers dirty. Okay? I don't know if they're trying to take out the strong and leave the weak behind. I don't know what they're doing. But to me, it sounds like they're trying to take out the strong. Okay? Everybody that decided to go in the middle of a pandemic and show up to work in the middle of a pandemic, everybody that showed up still, everybody that didn't get no bonus food stamps, didn't get no bonus unemployment check, just had the same check, raggedy ass check they've been having, okay, in the middle of the pandemic, okay, and they went to work, and they doing them dirty. They're not getting that extra out of still going to work, okay, they're not getting a parade, they're not getting nothing. They're just going to work. Okay? So they're doing the workers dirty. The only one that really got to deal with that mandatory mask something is the workers. Because if you're on welfare and you're at home, you ain't going no damn where. You don't. What the fuck you care about? You ain't got no problem throwing it on and going to the store. Especially when they add $200, $300, $400, $500 more food. So they like, fuck it, I'll put the mask on. Okay? I had that little check and ain't get ish extra. You see what I'm saying, TD? Don't make no sense. They did the workers dirty. They still doing the workers dirty. Because guess who's paying the taxes? They ain't even let them go to work tax exempt. They ain't getting nothing. They at least said, all right, workers, y'all going to work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why should the workers still be at work paying the taxes for everybody else to stay at home and they don't get no bonus or nothing? Why everybody blaming the pandemic for everything? So if the pandemic was so bad, the garbage man, right? Now peep this, because see, I'm a person. What we got to do is we got to pay attention to our environments. Okay? Now, the garbage man, right? I watched the garbage man the whole time. The day they announced pandemic, the garbage man's picking up the trash. They ain't miss a beat. They ain't miss a day. Okay? When I looked at the garbage men, they didn't have no extra hazmat suit or nothing. They running around picking up everybody's trash. Non-stop through the whole pandemic. They didn't get a bonus. They didn't get a raise. They didn't get squat. They just came around, running around, picking up everybody nasty coronavirus ass garbage. And they ain't get shit in return. No favors, nothing. Okay? Okay? While some people sitting home, getting unemployed. I'm not mad at nobody with whatever they got. I'm just saying. The business owners got a PPP loan. Welfare got a extra food stamp. Maybe some more other child tax credit. I don't know. Everybody got something. But the workers, they doing the workers dirty. The only thing the workers got was to pay some fucking tax on the money they made. Okay? When you looking at things and you can just simply add up, you know, if it was a pandemic like that, they might as well have just everybody go home. Close the hospital too. Fuck it. Every man for themselves. Drop the food from the helicopter. Okay? The doctors and the nurses cannot hold us hostage if they want to say it's too dangerous for y'all to live because we on the front line and we work. Ain't nobody tell y'all to stay at the fucking hospital neither. Okay? Everybody's job is risky. The garbage man was risky, running around, picking up the trash, all fucking pandemic. Everybody's job is risky. Okay? And for the daggone old tyrannical ass governor motherfuckers to run around with a clipboard telling somebody who's essential and who's not, that was just straight all the way wrong. Against Constitution. Because if the nasty ass fucking test tent can be open, then the damn nail salon can be open too. Okay? Latanya Pierce, she agrees, see? See what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. But it's the Jetta mind trick that they're doing to people with the fear factor. Okay? The fear factor. That's what they doing. They using fear to control. I'm not sitting here telling you ain't something out there. It could be, see, of course, like, what? If it wasn't the motherfucker so wicked there, put something. So I'm not saying don't be careful. But if you adding up 1 + 1 and 2, And the whole grocery store, it ain't but one grocery store in a 10-mile radius in a community. The whole damn community that been to the grocery store 18 million times. And the workers been there every day. They didn't get nothing extra out of it. Okay? And if they worked there, that mean they didn't get no food stamps. So when they finished getting their paycheck, they got to spend probably half of it just to buy some food to feed their family. I'm just over the shit. Okay? I'm just over this shit. It's just too much. Okay? And when everything happened with drugs and everything, it's just a lot. All of this stuff going on at the same time, just too much. It's just too much. Let me calm down for a second, because I've just been getting real, like, I've been just reflecting still on everything, like, still. And I'm feeling a little more better. Like, I'm feeling myself stand up more than I have been, because I got my Love is Love 8 back on board, kind of growing it back to where, you know what I'm saying, we're about to make some more moves, you know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling a little better. I'm getting a little, my spirits are lifting that I could work out my potential, because I know I got way more potential than just Goonie Gaga. But that was fun. But then this all this serious shit, it don't be that fun. Like, we artists, we wanted to just sit in like creativity zones and without all this serious talk. And they making it like not even fun to be famous. Like, who the fuck wants to be famous? Like, you want to be successful, but they making like fame don't look fun right now. The way they running around here with they fucking, as soon as you got a dollar, they follow the money. Follow the money. Damn. It wasn't fair for the workers, not at all. It's still not fair for the workers. That's what make me try to start thinking that they trying to take out the strong, okay? Because it ain't been fair for the workers, and then that's the first one they want to jam a vaccine shot into, okay? But why you want to jam a vaccine shot into the worker when they was working for like a whole year before the vaccine came out? Okay? Nobody said it was too dangerous for them to work. Like I said, they could have just shut everything down. You said 2 weeks later, so shut everything down, drop the food from the helicopter, and really get the social distance popping. But for you to say, lock everything down, I'm going to tell you who essential, who non-essential. If Amazon could continue with hundreds of workers, the nail salon and the barbershop could have kept their 5 or 6 workers open too. Okay, and let me tell you something. All those places is essential. Some people got diabetes where they need their pedicures done, and some people heavy can't even reach their feet. Certain things they need that shit. It's essential to many people for their blood circulation. You already shut the hospital down, then you don't want them to be able to go get no spot treatment, nothing. That was all wrong what they did. Okay, it was very, very wrong. And the problem is they get away with doing unconstitutional shit all the time. And it's so we can't afford the lawyers, we can't afford nothing, so it's just, we just sit back and try to hope we miss the unconstitutional wave. Okay? It just be, just like the stop and frisk. How long they did stop and frisk on people? How many people got locked up for time for stop and frisk unjustly, unconstitutional? They don't care. They don't care. Oh, thank you, darling. Word, you know what I'm saying? I had to put the Trump back on because I had to put the hat on because it's not about the president, okay? It's about you got to set standards for yourself, okay? If you sit there and allow them to start choosing your president based off of a week worth of late bot mail, you setting a standard like that. That means you always have an election based off of whatever some corrupt governor or somebody told you came in the mail. If you accept that standard, you're gonna accept that standard as your standard. That's how you're gonna elect your president of the free world. You're gonna say, okay, whoever get the most mail in for a week. That's what you're gonna do. You got it's about the standard. Okay? If they can ban the president of the United States of America, who's supposed to be your biggest representative, okay? When we go in there, we vote for a president, we say this is going to be our chief representative of the country, and you know what I'm saying? And then you watching him not have no rights. If your chief executive officer ain't got no rights, your ass, hey, you might as well just put the cuffs on yourself, because if your chief officer ain't got no rights, you definitely ain't got no rights. The rights, Dad, is over. New country. When they say new normal, what they really saying, new country. All that right stuff y'all thought y'all had is over. It's over. Y'all was dreaming and it don't exist. That's what they telling us. See? That's what I'm talking about, standards. Because we the people are the government. So when they start putting these new laws and new normals out there, you don't even use your freedom of speech to say, that don't sound right. Wait a minute. You don't even use your freedom of speech to complain. I mean, sometimes they put the laws, the rules out there. You don't know what's going on. You're going to follow and shit like that. Then when it start getting uncomfortable, it's like you don't even notice when you start getting uncomfortable. 2 years could pass. You'll still be doing the same. You ain't even going to speak up that it's uncomfortable. And you got a right to freedom of speech. You ain't even using none of your rights. The people, if they put the shit out there and everybody say, okay, I'm down, I'll do that, then that's what you're going to get because you agreeing to that. If they put something out there and you don't agree, you be like, yo, that sound a little funny. I ain't really trying to be doing that. Even if you fall back and follow it, but you can still complain. Okay? If you don't like it, you can complain. This ain't China yet. They on their way, but shit. It's just out of control, okay? Just completely out of control. The whole situation is out of control, okay? The whole government situation, the whole thing is out of control. That's all I know how to say, okay? Because you do have to, set your standards higher for yourselves. And we're going to play chess on these government people, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to go look at them 500 seats or whatever many seats. I'm going to go count them up. And we're going to zero in on these districts. And we're going to go walk around these districts. We're going to figure out what's going on around here. Okay? We didn't send him in there to count fish. And whatever what's his name? Bowman? I think they say he over here with our 16th district. We want to see them school choice vouchers come back. And I'm getting tired of not seeing them talk about Ice Cube's contract with Black America. And all y'all people that voted for Biden, y'all might as well be somewhere ordering touchless delivery for supporting that fuckery. Okay? The man ain't offer you nothing but a mandatory experimental shot and a lockdown. And y'all support that because you're so hypnotized by the word Democrat and Republican. And I'll be honest with y'all, they tricking y'all. And then they blame white nationalists for everything. Meanwhile, white immigrants and all different kinds of whites been doing bad shit to us. We surrounded by fucking enemies anyway, so it don't even matter. The Italian whites, what they doing down there, over there. The Italian white right now in New York City telling us who essential and who not essential and lockdown and new normal and all that shit. That's the Italian whites down there doing that. That ain't the white nationalists. Biden is an Irish immigrant white. He over there talking about 94 crime bill, lock them all up. You can't, I don't want a racial jungle. These motherfuckers, it don't matter what they went through. They just need to be locked up. That's Biden. Okay, he not a white nationalist. He ain't had no problem doing all that fuckery, though. So, all that trying to point race, it ain't got nothing to do with race. It's about content of character. I can find an Italian white that won't do that shit that other Italian did. Talking about lockdown, let me tell you who essential, who not essential, who normal. Then it'd be another Italian be like, what? Be over here with me like, huh? With his hat on just like this, huh? So it's not about the race of the person. You have a white nationalist who's a dick, yeah. And then you have one that's really down for the Constitution. That understands the rights, and they know they come from God, not government. Okay? So let's leave that race shit alone. It ain't about race. It's about content of character. Okay? Then white nationalists, the way they racist, y'all all racist. Shit. The Jewish white too, get up in there, all up in the government. They swear they know something about hardship and this and that. Did anybody sympathize with the plight of the black Americans and the black people and everything they got sympathy for everybody else. Okay? It's frustrating, it's annoying, it's aggravating, it's dumb. President Trump is trying to save the daggone democracy, okay? And democracy don't mean everybody that hop the fence can vote. That's not what democracy means. Everybody hop the fence. We outnumber y'all now. New democracy. That is not democracy. Democracy is the like-minded citizens of the country who have agreed to how they're going to live and have a voting right and go in there and keep the thing, make a tighter union. Democracy is not, I came for student visa, I don't know the country, I just want to vote. And then they start voting us into third world. And they start voting for stuff like mandatory mass lockdown and this and that. That's not America. They told people they couldn't do their performances live. They canceled funerals, but they allowed all of the protests in the police stations to burn down, and Black Lives Matter, Antifa pull down statues, gathering, fighting police, and throwing bricks and all of that. Now, I ain't saying sometimes people don't get mad to go crazy like that, police, but don't scream pandemic for everything else, and then there ain't no pandemic for that. Ain't nobody died neither. And to that extent, I don't know what happened, but they wasn't dropping dead from no virus while they was over there burning down churches and burning down buildings. It was all black neighborhood that they burnt down. We got to stop letting them trick us like that. Get us all emotional because everything that happens to the blacks the most. Everything bad happened. Anything bad happened, the blacks the most. Everything. The foreign virus, the blacks got it the most. The neighborhoods burnt down because of Black Lives Matter protests. Mostly black neighborhoods, if not all. Black people get the most of all the short end of the stick because we got to stop falling for their tricks, okay? It's nothing but fuckery, okay? And I'm happy that I came back on here. I'm getting back to some music. I got some beats over here, you know what I'm saying? I'm at my best when I'm vibing to some beats. And I feel better because Love is Love Inc. is back on track. I went through a lot. I went through a great depression about that shit because I felt stuck in limbo because I didn't want to do nothing unless I had my Love is Love Inc. And I did not want a new company name. I want my Love is Love Inc. And we back. And I love y'all. And we're going to make America great again. And we're going to save America. And I love y'all for real, for real.